Hey everybody, Bobby Gaines again here for some ALCS action as we go into Game 5. Did anybody miss me for Game 4? Well, I'm sorry about that, but I was just so tired last night. Worked a 10-hour shift, and I was really excited to watch the game, and I did watch the game. And actually, as many of you know, it was an incredible game. Actually, that might have been the best baseball game I've seen in at least a few years. It was that good. Just all the action, the back and forth, the controversial calls, the ending, everything about that game was just amazing. It's why I watch baseball. It's just, honestly, I couldn't believe it. Honestly, when your heart gets racing like that, the anxiety gets going, you don't know what's going to happen. That is an amazing feeling. Of course, you always want your team to come out on top of that situation. Doesn't always work out that way, but it did last night for the Red Sox with the bases loaded. Alex Bregman flies out to Benintendi, who makes an amazing sliding catch to end the game. And by that point, it was almost 1 in the morning, and I was just in bed, and I saw the ball get hit, and I sat up and waited to see if it would be caught. And sure enough, it was, and I'm like, holy crap, he caught that. Anyway, so the Red Sox lead the series 3-1, which sounds really weird saying that. So you might have a chance here tonight to see me celebrate an American League pennant should the Red Sox win this and go to the World Series. So here's to hoping. I kind of hope so, because my heart can only take so many of these games. They're all really close games, even though the final score might not indicate that. Last night's game was 8-6 with the Red Sox winning it. Devers taking ball 2 from Verlander, and it's the top of the 4th inning. But I'm not worried because the Red Sox have perhaps the greatest postseason pitcher ever going for them, and that is David Price. Of course, I'm kidding. David Price has been pretty good so far. I mean, you got to give the guy credit when he doesn't suck, since everyone's ready to lampoon him when he does. So it's going to be hard to say what they get out of Price, and obviously they need to get at least, I would say, 6 innings out of him, just being conservative, and I don't know how he's doing so far, but he hasn't given up any runs, so must be pretty good. They got to get at least 6 innings out of him tonight because the bullpen was really used last night. Kimbrel's not available, which thank God. Kimbrel pitched 40 pitches in 2 innings. I have no idea why they put him in for 2 innings. Again, it just kind of shows how little this Red Sox bullpen has. I mean, they've had to use Chris Sale out of the bullpen. They've had to use Porcello out of the bullpen. I mean, they've been having to use anyone who's ever thrown a baseball out of the bullpen. Yeah, that was a strike. That was a low ball, but that was a strike. No, they've had to use everybody out of this bullpen. So if Price can't go more than 5 innings, I don't know how they're going to get to the 9th. And then when they get to the 9th, they can't use Kimbrel, which thank God they can't use him because he stinks. You know, I've said this every time, and I was so tempted to turn on the camera last night. I really was, but it was after midnight when, the whole 8th inning started with Kimbrel, and the 9th inning wasn't much easier for him. And it was just really frustrating to watch and all that. But I'm like, you know what, if I set up the camera now and it's after midnight, I'm going to get all amped up, yelling at the camera, setting it up, putting it on YouTube, blah, 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 and I'm never going to get to sleep. Because I was so angry at Kimbrel. Between all the walks and the hits, and Mookie Betts bailed him out big time there, throwing out Kemp at second base. That should have been a leadoff single, and then who knows what happens. But, yeah, I mean, he stinks. Kimbrel stinks. He barely gets out of innings. His fielders have to make great plays to bail him out, and he just walks everybody. And it was just very frustrating to see. Anyway, trying to focus on this game, since I kind of gave you the rundown of yesterday's game. It is 1-0 Red Sox. J.D. Martinez had a home run, which of course I did not catch on camera, which is also my other reason for not filming last night, because I'm like, if I turn on the camera, they're definitely going to lose. So, of course, I didn't turn on the camera, and Benintendi made the sensational play, and all that other good stuff happened. So maybe it's for the best. But yeah, this game is 1-0 Red Sox, Game 5, top of the 4th inning, 0-2 the count to Christian Vasquez. I almost forgot our catcher's name for a second, as they look at the little train set that's up there in Houston, a giant train. Hopefully that thing won't be moving tonight. Verlander, of course, one of many really good pitchers for the Astros. Time for a timeout, I guess. So, I mean, this Astros rotation, I mean, really the pitching, as much as the hitting was a strength of the Astros, the pitching was supposed to be an advantage to the Astros because of their bullpen. Their bullpen's much better than the Red Sox, even I have to say that. And yet, the Red Sox pitchers, the few that they've used, have gotten the job done, whether it's been Joe Kelly or Ryan Brazier. That one's inside to Vasquez, 1-2 the count. So, I mean, all the Red Sox, they don't have the talent of, a Presley or a Sip or, what's the other guy, Asuna. They don't have the talent of those guys, especially not Kimbrel, but, most of the Red Sox bullpen has been pretty solid. So, That's a result of Cora kind of knowing, who to use and when, not leaving guys in too long. And that's kind of what you got to do in the postseason. So let's see what happens here as Verlander pitches it inside. A lot of wild pitches, too, as I watch that ball clank off his glove and go to the backstop. A lot of catchers dropping balls, a lot of pitchers throwing wild pitches in this postseason. So that might come into play here, it might not. I know the Red Sox have gotten many gifts in this series. I mean, the Astros have made an uncharacteristic number of mistakes, just walks and hit by pitches and errors, and Carlos Correa not turning a double play last night. I mean, just a lot of things in last night's game that could have gone the Astros' way, but they didn't. And the Red Sox are very fortunate to be up 3-1 in this series. Vasquez taking a cut at a ball off the plate, fouling it off. So, yeah, there's a lot to break down here. Not even talking about this game, talking about last night's game and just all the crazy things that happened there. And just how back and forth it was. It was 2-0 Red Sox, then it was 2-2, then it was 3-2, then it was 3-3. I mean, it just went on and on. And Jackie Bradley Jr. again coming through with a big home run. What can I say? I love that the Red Sox have a team. Kind of reminds me of the Celtics. They have a team where, even the ninth guy in the lineup can make a difference. It's not just Mookie Betts or, J.D. Martinez carrying the way. In fact, those two haven't even really been a factor, although Martinez had the home run tonight. But it's mostly been, Jackie Bradley Jr., guys like Brock Holt hitting for the cycle. It's been a lot of different players. So I never get the feeling that they're out of it just because Mookie Betts is having a bad game. I feel like anybody could get the big hit. Steve Pearce has been big, too. He had a big home run in last night's game. He's not actually even playing tonight. It's Mitch Moreland. So here we go. 2-2 the count. Swings and misses. So decent at-bat put on by Vasquez. I'm not going to say it's a great one because he struck out, but decent at-bat. Saw a lot of pitches. Fouled a lot of them off. Astros fans waving that one towel. Actually, it's just that one lady. No one else seems to really be doing it. Oh, the Astros. I got nothing against the Astros. I think their fans are kind of hokey, but I got nothing against the Houston Astros. They had a good run. But obviously, I'm hoping that the Red Sox dethrone them this year and end up winning the World Series against either the Dodgers or the Brewers. All right, there's our hero right there, Jackie Bradley. Almost had a hit. Got robbed there. Throw on to Verlander. And, of course, a very boring 1-2-3 inning. More after this.